Hello everyone, welcome back to the Metasploitable tutorial. In this video, I'll be showing you how to exploit RPCBind. Now for this one, we're not just going to be using this port 111 to get into this machine. We're going to use RPCBind, this 111. We're also going to be using NFS, which is port 2049, and we're also going to be using SSH on port 22. Now, RPCBind is installed on the Metasploitable VM, and it's been misconfigured. So, it allows us to get in. So is the NFS. So go ahead, pause the video, do a little research on RPCBind and NFS specifically, and see if you can figure out how to get through this. Alright, welcome back. If you're able to figure that out, great job. If not, let me show you how I do this. Again, if you found a different way than what's in this video, please share it down in the comments. I'd love to learn it, and I'm sure that other people watching the video would love to know it as well. So, also, another thing you might notice is these IP addresses are different. That's because I had to do something to my computer, do a little bit of maintenance and stuff, and these IP addresses changed when I spun up these VMs again. So, these are different, but this is all the same, other than these addresses are different. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and see what kind of info we can get from our Metasploitable machine from RPCBind itself. So if we use the command rpcinfo p and then our IP address here, this command will show us all of the services that are running, that are connected to this RPCBind, and what ports they're running on. So we can also see that there's some ports way up there. Let's see. Oh, those ones aren't showing up. But some of these that are way up there, that are way up here. Oh, we can see them, some of them here. So these ones down here, like this one here, is the same as this one here. Oops. Those ones are also associated with this whole setup. But these ones, if we go ahead and search for just NFS with the grep command, then we can see that NFS is also connected to this RPCBind. So since that's the case, we can go ahead and look up some info on NFS then. NFS is basically a system that allows you to share files over the network, kind of like Samba if you're familiar with that. It allows you to create a folder on your computer, share it over your network to other computers. And so you can access files on a separate computer as if it was on your own. So if it's misconfigured, we can use that to our advantage. Go ahead and use the show mount command and then our IP address. And right here we can see that the root of the the root of the file system is shared over the network, which means that if we can connect to this, we will have access to absolutely every file on our Metasploitable machine, which is very dangerous. Don't ever configure your NFS like this if you decide to set it up. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to create an SSH key. We're going to connect to the NFS and move that key into the correct location on the Metasploitable machine, and then we'll be able to connect using that key that we generated without needing a root password. Let me show you how that's done. I'm gonna go ahead and let's see. Do I have? Let's see. I do already have an SSH folder. So, do I have? I already have some deals in here. I already have a known hosts. So we're going to go ahead and do. So we're going to move into that SSH folder. If you don't already have this SSH folder, you'll need to create it. And you're going to want to create a known hosts file. So you can see I've got one right here. If you don't have one, you can easily just do touch known hosts like that, and that will create it for you. We're going to go ahead and create a new key, SSH keygen. RSA 4096. And it's asking us what we want to save it as, and we'll save this one as hack the planet RSA. And then we're going to leave this passphrase empty, and it's created us one. So if we look here, now we have a hack the planet RSA, hack the planet RSA public key, and we'll be able to use those in the next steps. So the next step, we're going to go ahead and mount that NFS file system to our Kali box here. We can just use the mount command for that. Type is NFS. We're going to use the IP address of the Metasploitable machine, followed by :/, and we're going to mount it in our mount directory. And we're going to add the no lock option, so we no locking of files. So now, if we go ahead and go into our mount directory, this should be the root directory of our Metasploitable VM. We can see it looks very much like the root directory of a Linux machine. If we go into the home folder, let's just view the contents of the home folder. We don't need to go in there. We can see that one of the users is MSFadmin. So I'd say this is a pretty good bet that we are in the file system of our Metasploitable virtual machine. This is very dangerous, but it's fun for us. We'll be able to pop a shell with it. So now what we're going to go ahead and do is let's go ahead and go into the root folder and the SSH folder of the Metasploitable machine, that is. We have authorized keys and known hosts. So what we can do then is we can copy our key, the one called hack the planet .public .pub, and we can copy it to here. So now that key that we generated earlier on our Kali machine is on the Metasploitable machine. Now, if we look at authorized keys here, we can see that there's a couple keys in here. Oh, and you can see that I already did this earlier, but we're going to do it again. All that we need to do is we need to feed the contents of our key file, our public key file, and append it onto the end of authorized keys. So now when we look at the output of that authorized key file, you can see that we have another key here. more so than this other one up here. So now, with that key that we have saved on our Kali Linux machine, we can connect with SSH. The Metasploitable machine will say, hey, do you have the correct key? And we'll be like, yeah, man, we got this key. Let us in. And they'll be like, oh, yeah, I got that key too. I'll let you in. So, I mean, let's go ahead and do that. Let's go back here. Let's clear. We just do SSH-I and then our hack the planet key. And we want to log in as root and our Metasploitable machine's IP. And we type yes here, and boom! I am root on the Metasploitable machine. Oops. Yeah, no, that's right. So now we have root access. We popped a shell through, SSH, and we can do pretty much whatever we want now. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video when we will be talking about NetBIOS.